Good morning, everyone. How are you all doing? Today is such a beautiful day, and I thought I'd come and chat about why you can't stop overeating. And this is such a big thing, so if you are watching this live, give me some comments and hearts. If you're watching this in the replay, give me hashtag replay, and I just want to make sure that I get to see the comments as they come in. Okay, they will come up at the bottom. But today I wanted to share with you, hi Sarah, just what happens when you are in this space of overeating and you just can't understand why it's not going away. So this was something that I struggled with for many years, and I couldn't understand what was happening. So I'll take you through this. If you've seen some of my other videos, you would have seen that I am taking a bit of a creative flair, so you might see me drawing a couple of things for you. And I've called this the binge guilt cycle, but for you that might not be complete binge, it might just be that you're completely overeating, feeling guilty about it, and this is just an illustration for the moment. So basically, why you are where you are is because there is a cycle happening for you. And usually what happens is, the first thing that happens along the way is there's this form of unhappiness about yourself or unhappiness about the way you look and your body. So what happens when we are in this space? We are being quite hard on ourselves. We just want things to change, and we think that if we start changing our bodies, then things will start happening for us, and we will start feeling more confident, more, just self-aware, all those kind of things. And so give me a heart or thumbs up if you can relate to this. Let me just give that little wave. And this is quite a sad space to be in, because we just feel so hard on ourselves, we're down on life, it just feels like nothing is really working out for us. So what do? We decide, yes, you know what, I'm going to change the one thing that I can focus on, and I'm going to change and go on a diet, because if I go on a diet, then I will be happy. So we go on this diet, and it's basically the way we want to change our bodies, and this diet might be any form of restriction. So any diet here, whether it's a cleanse, a keto, whatever you want to call it, any restrictive behavior around food. And the problem is here, this might go well for a couple of days and so forth. However, the unhappiness hasn't really been sorted out here. We're just trying to change something superficially, if that makes sense. So here we are on this diet. It might go well for a couple of days, couple of weeks, and unfortunately we all know what's going to happen. There's going to be a party or an occasion, something that kind of just blows us out of our comfort zone, and all of a sudden there's a blowout. There's this binge, excuse my drawing of a cookie. There's just something that sets us off. You at a party, you decide, what the hell not, I'll start again tomorrow. And this is kind of the space where we all get into. But because we've been so restrictive here, this ends up being a lot of overeating compared to what we normally would have done. And in this space, we just feel like, well, you know what, screw it, we'll start again tomorrow, who cares right now, I just want to be happy, I just want to fit in, what are the other ones, I just want to get today over and done with, and then tomorrow I will go back to my diet. However, because we have now eaten that cookie or that pint of ice cream or that Oreo sleeve, we start feeling guilty. And because we have not stuck to the diet that we're on. And the thing is, this guilt, I'm a big fan of Louise Hay, and Louise says that guilt is a useless emotion. It doesn't solve anything and it doesn't make anyone feel better. However, it is such a strong negative emotion that it makes us feel unhappy about ourselves again. It makes us feel sad and depressed that we couldn't get the diet right. So what do? We force ourselves back into this diet space. And this time it's even a shorter period of time. We can't stick to it as long as the first time before we back into this blowout. And again, the cycle just loops and loops and loops. Now the problem is that people think that this is the problem. We think that the habit here is the binge. And we think that if we solve out our diet, then we'll be happy in our bodies. However, the binge is just one part of the habit. This whole thing, this whole cycle is the habit that I help my clients with. It's very little to do with the actual binge. This is just the symptom of how we get there, or how we react to all these feelings we have, the way we restrict ourselves, and the way we lay guilt on ourselves. So what do we do then if we want to start healing ourselves from this cycle, healing ourselves from getting out of this guilt cycle? And the thing is, we need to start changing our perspective of the binge and understand why this is happening to us. And the reason why this loop is going is because you'll probably have heard me talk about the food zombie brain. Our brain is wired to think in loops, but our brain also wants to feel safe. It wants to feel comfort, and it wants to feel that it's solved a problem. And the problem often, funny enough, for the brain is the binge, because the binge releases endorphins and it releases oxytocin. It releases that rebellious sense, and that feels amazing. And that is what the brain's after. But then it knows that if it makes you feel guilty, your food zombie brain knows if she can make you feel guilty, you are going to feel unhappy about yourself. You're going to start the whole process over again, because it will get you back into this binge. So if this makes sense, let me know, give me a whoop whoop in the comments, because if we want to stop this whole thing from happening, we need to work on every single part of the cycle, not just the symptom, if that makes sense. So let me know in the comments if this was helpful, if this has been something that that would actually give you just a little bit of insight of what we need to start doing in order to break this binge guilt cycle. And for you, it might not be quite a binge. It might just be a blowout, and that just ruins your whole diet or your whole day, because you are feeling this guilt. So, you know, like, I just wanted to start bringing in some awareness of why we do things, because it is just such a terrible place for us to be in, is in that cycle. And then we feel so disappointed with ourselves for just being in that loop the whole entire time. So if you are watching this and you would like a little bit of additional help, I've created a beautiful new guide called 3 must-dos to control emotional eating to get the body that you want. If you want a copy, write in the comments and I will send that to you. Thank you so much for joining me on this live. Let me know what your biggest takeaway is in the comments below. I'll see you guys soon.